Bitcoin could rally here about 100K. Now, between this area, 100,000, like I said, and 105, 110, we should expect some type of pullback simply because those people who could not sell at 100K before, they're going to see that price again now, and they're going to say, okay, now's my chance to get out. And remember that all of these institutions that are coming into the Bitcoin market now, it's great. It adds a lot of liquidity, but these guys, they're not as committed as the first cohort of Bitcoin so-called hodlers that we're accustomed to seeing, or we're accustomed to seeing, back in 17, 15, even as recently as 2020 and 21. There's a different profile to Bitcoin, to the average Bitcoin investor now. They're more institutional, so they're more likely to sell these pullbacks. They're more likely to react to these psychological levels, such as 100,000. That's the lowest six-digit number that Bitcoin can have, and it is acting as significant resistance. Now, once we clear 100K, and it's just a matter of time, whether it's in this cycle or the next cycle, Bitcoin is going to be cleared to rally up to as high as 1 million. I'm not predicting it's going to go to 1 million. I'm saying that once Bitcoin investors get accustomed to the fact that there's a six-digit number to the price of Bitcoin, it's free to rally, and this 100K level will no longer act as such a strong psychological barrier to higher prices. In the here and now, however, expect some type of pullback as soon as Bitcoin investors see 100 that Bitcoin has returned to 100K, and that's what my timing model is pointing to. Even though, admittedly, my model suggests that we have a couple of more weeks of upside, but that next couple of weeks that we're going to see here, and I'm going to keep you updated in upcoming issues, but do not expect a lot of price action. I would expect Bitcoin to stay below this, especially the solid line between now and this pullback that my model is seeing in late May. Following that pullback, which again, it may not be significant. It could just be a couple of weeks. It could be a 20-day cycle top. It may be significant in terms of price action because we're going to see a lot of distribution once Bitcoin hits this price, but it could be over quickly, and then Bitcoin is free to rally. And so what I'm trying to describe here, let's say it goes to 103, 104. By late May, then it pulls back. This is not late May. Let me just move these arrows a little bit. So we get there by late May, let's say May 23rd, exactly as my model is describing. We may see this type of pullback. It may rally or sell off back down to the 90,000s, maybe 96, 95, as low as 90. Should be over and done with quickly, though, and it should not be so pronounced simply because, like I've been saying for some time, global liquidity continues to push higher. And so everything points to higher prices here. Just what I'm trying to say is, I'm just trying to give you a warning that do not expect this thing to be just straight up from here on out, because we're likely going to see some selling as Bitcoin approaches this key $100,000 level. But so far, beyond that pullback from late May, my model is actually not picking up on any significant corrections. We should not see any significant corrections, and Bitcoin should eventually rally into a new all-time high, probably as we start June. So in early June, I would expect that the move to break out into new all-time highs will begin. And if that happens, if Bitcoin can actually close at, let's say, 110, 115, once it clears this solid level here, my timing model puts the likely top of this bull market anywhere between, there's a possibility that we might see an early top in August, but the likely top, I've been saying for some time, is the October-November period. This is what we should expect. This is the base case that every Bitcoin investor should be looking to, because this would be along the lines of the usual four-year cycle, how four-year cycles develop. Now, in terms of the smaller 320-day cycle, which you can break that four-year cycle into smaller 320-day cycles. For those of you who attended the conference, I made the point, I illustrated how this rally that we're seeing here, this is the fourth 320-day cycle rally within this grand four-year cycle crypto bull market, whatever you want to call it. And that we've actually never seen that before. We've never seen four 320-day cycle rallies. We only see three. So I sounded the alarm saying, hey, we're a little overextended here in terms of this key 320-day cycle, but I'm leaning on the side of new all-time highs by October, November, maybe as early as August, as long as the price momentum can keep up with global liquidity, which we have seen that over the past month or so. And so even though this would be an unusual bull market or a continuation to this bull market from a pure cycle perspective, I would say that so far since 2022, Bitcoin has followed global liquidity up and down with about a 90% correlation. And as long as that correlation doesn't break, we should expect new all-time highs in the price of Bitcoin soon, over the next few weeks.